Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And welcome to the True Access Capital 2020 annual meeting. We are so excited to have you be a part of this great virtual event that we've planned tonight, where we plan to share all the impact that we have created in the last year. I'm Sarah A. Crawford, the Program Director for the Women's Business Center. And again, I want to say welcome to those that are streaming with us online. This is our first virtual event, so I hope that you guys enjoy the show, the event, the program, and those that are in person with us, I hope you enjoy yourself as well. What I would like to do at this moment is to bring forth the True Access Capital Board of Directors Chairperson and WSFS Vice President of Business Banking, Mr. Paul Hughes.
Thank you. This is quite the difference of a year makes, but I'll do my best to keep things moving and get things started. So she stole a little bit of my thunder, but I wanted to thank everyone for coming to the 2020 True Access Capital annual meeting. Most of you are aware that it truly has been an interesting year, and to say the least, we appreciate from the board all of the efforts the staff has made. I'd like to take a few moments to recognize our sponsors, our platinum sponsor, J.P. Morgan Chase Company, our gold sponsors, Wisvis Bank and Wells Fargo, our silver sponsor, Barnes Thornburg, and our bronze sponsor, Losco and Marconi, Meridian Bank, Artisans Bank, and the City of Wilmington. I'd also like to recognize an attending dignitary, Dwayne Sims, the newly elected treasurer for the City of Wilmington. So throughout the evening, we hope that you take the time to text to give. I believe it'll show up on your screen. It's to donate, text True Access 2020 to number 44-321. With that said, welcome. Thank you for attending, and for those online, thank you for attending that way. Van?
So as Paul mentioned, we have a lot of contributors and supporters for True Access Capital, and we are so very grateful for them. And we have a special message tonight from Senator Coons, who will be virtually visiting with us during the program to share some special remarks.
Good evening. I'm U.S. Senator Chris Coons from Delaware. To Van Hampton, President and CEO of True Access Capital, and everyone who works for True Access, it's just incredible what you've accomplished over the past 7 months during this pandemic. You should be so proud. And to Paul Hughes, board chair, and all the board members, thank you for your unwavering commitment to help support small businesses here in Delaware. To the investors and banks who helped make all this happen, I hope you're proud of True Access. I know that I am. And overall, let's just remind ourselves, there's been more than $42 million you've dispersed to 1,350 small businesses and organizations, and that's no small feat. During the crises of today, the COVID pandemic and the recession that's resulted, CDFIs like True Access have been a lifeline for our small businesses and nonprofits in low-income communities. Your hard work, time, and energy have truly helped small business owners, their employees, their families, and their customers. You're ensuring that with every loan and business coaching session, underrepresented groups are getting one step closer to having real access to equity. I also want to congratulate you on the EDA award, especially the more than $600,000 to increase your lending to Hispanic small businesses across our first state. As the ranking member on the subcommittee that oversees and funds the CDFI program, and as a tireless advocate for increasing support to CDFIs, I was thrilled to help advocate for that recent award from EDA. So to everyone here tonight, to True Access Capital and their investors, partners, staff, and supporters, thank you. Thank you for lifting up our community, neighborhoods, and families by committing yourselves to supporting small business. I look forward to continuing our work together and to continuing advocating for the CDFI community. Thank you.
So what I didn't know is that we were going to be on a platform tonight, and I'm going to get a lot of exercise. And I'm perfectly fine with that. So, so hello there again. You will see just a little bit more of me, but one of the things that you are definitely going to see tonight and follows through with our theme is impact. True Access Capital has been able to create so much impact in our communities through business, through programming, through technical assistance, and lending programs. And if you would like to be a part of that type of impact, we ask that you donate and you text to True Access 2020 to 44321. And it will definitely be on your screen throughout the evening, so if I said it too fast, you can just catch it on your screen. Last year, we spent our annual meeting introducing you to our brand. We were formerly First State Community Loan Fund. So tonight, what we would like to do is introduce you to our new and beautiful virtual home, the True Access Capital website. I would like to bring forward and introduce Mr. Jim Donahue, Managing Partner and Co-Founder of New Point Marketing. Take it away, Mr. Jim.
Thank you, Sarah. I wish I could be there in the room with you tonight. I seem to be joining you from the International Space Station here, given my background. So I can't see the room. I'm assuming you can hear me. If you can't, maybe someone can step up to the podium and say so. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. So a few years ago, Van and I met in his office to talk about his marketing priorities for what we all then knew as the First State Community Loan Fund. And we ended up with a pretty long list, all of which we're working on today. But two items really stood out for us when we went over that list. Van wanted us to rethink the organization's brand identity with a particular eye toward marketing the brand and making sure that it worked harder to support the future growth and expansion of the organization. And he really wanted to do something about the website as it was then. So that discussion began an 8-month journey that culminated in the launch of the True Access Capital brand, which, as Sarah just mentioned, we introduced at last year's annual meeting. So at New Point, we knew we had to get the branding right before we tackled the website. And I think we succeeded. The True Access Capital brand took root quickly, and despite the normal anxiety about making such a big switch, I don't think any of us have spent much time looking back or doubting that the move from First State Community Loan Fund to True Access Capital as our brand was in fact the right thing to do. But we still had the issue of the website. So working in parallel with the branding project, George Del Fabro, our creative director, and I sat down about 1.5 years ago, really, and began talking about a strategy for the True Access Capital website. That process reinforced everything that I've come to believe over many years in this business about why integrating a brand strategy like we did for True Access Capital into the design process is always going to lead to a better client experience and better results. So what do I mean by that? And really, why am I even bringing that up this evening? A common complaint that you sometimes hear about rebranding is that it's filled with lots of feel-good moments, but that when it comes to creating a valuable brand experience, like a website, things sometimes get lost in the translation. Our goal in creating the new True Access Capital website, which we're proud to launch here with you this evening, was to design a cohesive, consistent brand experience across the entire platform of the website. But getting into things like developing content strategy, taxonomies, content types, databases, mobile, and CMS architecture, everything that goes on under the hood to deliver that online website experience, all things that we're definitely not going to be talking about this evening, is an entirely different ballgame. Because more audiences will likely experience the True Access brand online than anywhere else, the website that you're all going to see this evening is True Access Capital's most strategic communications asset. This means that translating all that strategic thinking that went into developing the brand was an equally important part of developing the online brand experience. A colleague, in fact, an old boss, former boss, once said to me, "Why would anyone spend all the energy developing a great brand strategy and then not make that strategy the heart of design work?" And in a nutshell, that's what we've tried to do with the new True Access Capital website. I think, and I hope you'll agree, that the design navigation of the website integrates the True Access Capital brand in ways that are both obvious and subtle. Information is well organized. Most pages include a call to action. The site is easily updated. And one thing I'm really proud of, the website is outward facing and accessible. And what do I mean by that? We are not talking over our customers with this website. In fact, we spend more pixels talking about their success than we do trumpeting our own. And by our, I mean True Access Capital. The end result is not just a website, but in fact, a digital platform for leveraging the True Access Capital brand for many years to come. So here's my early warning notice, Ken, for whoever's controlling the film. In a moment, we'll show a brief film about the website. But I encourage you to explore the site on your own. I encourage you to try it on your laptop, your desktop, and even your phone, of course. Share your experience with your friends and colleagues. Talk the website up. And yes, if you find things we can improve, or heaven forbid, a mistake we've made, please be sure to let us know. I want to thank Dan and his team, and of course the board, for giving us this opportunity to serve, working with True Access Capital, and seeing up close the great work that you do in our community has been an honor. I won't be back after the film, but I'll stick around in the meeting if you have questions later. Thank you for giving me this time. And now, let's roll that short film.
And when an organization delivers on its promises time after time, that becomes its brand. In 2019, First State Community Loan Fund changed its name to True Access Capital. Today, the True Access Capital brand promise leans into the future by building on the foundation of First State's original brand qualities. Qualities like trust, integrity, truth, partnership, and access to capital for underserved audiences. And now, True Access Capital takes another step forward with a new website that embraces the brand on every page. Simply put, the new website expands the True Access brand into the digital universe. Our clients' success stories are our success stories. Products and services are organized cleanly and clearly, and the True Access brand colors tie it all together in ways that are both obvious and subtle. At the top of every page is the three-color True Access Capital logo. The triangle expresses strength and the interconnected nature of our business lines: loan products in turquoise, community initiatives in orange, and technical assistance in purple. A turquoise button links to our donation page. Across the home page and throughout the site, photos and content are easily refreshed and updated. Digging in deeper, the website showcases our loan products, the microloans, business growth loans, community development loans, and SBA 504 loans that are the core of our business. People are the heart and soul of what we do, and the website is peppered with short stories about real borrowers. Every loan product is described in detail, and each page links to a loan application. These true-to-life stories communicate the essence of the True Access brand, an organization that helps underserved people realize their dreams. Learn about Nicetown Grocery in Philadelphia, helping keep an inner-city community fed and grounded. Or Delaware's Mosley family, born entrepreneurs whose success has built 2 businesses. Or Pride Enterprises, a minority-owned general contractor partnering with True Access to build Philadelphia's newest entertainment complex, employing hundreds in the process. Training and technical assistance is a big part of our mission. We coach clients as they develop business plans, identify resources, and complete funding applications. It's all detailed on the website. And True Access is a reliable community partner. We work with other CDFIs, government, nonprofits, and others to foster community development across Delaware and southeastern Pennsylvania. The new website features short stories about several of these initiatives. And the Women's Business Center at True Access Capital, which offers training and coaching for female entrepreneurs, gets a full section of the website, including program descriptions, registration forms, and a calendar of events. When First State Community Loan Fund relaunched as True Access Capital, we stood on the shoulders of giants. And now, we have a website that expands the True Access brand in ways that will support our growth for years to come. True Access Capital, breaking down barriers, building up communities.
So now you see our new virtual home, and when you get a chance, please go to www.trueaccesscapital.org and view all the pages and all the information, and definitely read some of the stories about our clients. We can brag all day, but our clients tell the story best. I always say that. So please visit the website when you get a chance. So now what we want to do is we want to take a moment to highlight our platinum sponsor, JP Morgan Chase. So from JP Morgan Chase, we're going to have a special message by Daniel Okonkwo. He is the Mid-Atlantic market lead for JP Morgan Chase. Oh, and before we go to Daniel, make sure that you text to give True Access 2020 to 44321. Daniel? Hi there again. So the one beautiful thing about technology is that it's temperamental and it does what it wants. It's pretty unruly sometimes. So Daniel will be joining us. He's just having a slight bit of technical difficulty. So just bear with us. And in the meantime, those that are in person, just enjoy your food. And those that are online, please just wait just a few minutes. He's logging right back on, and we'll hear from our platinum sponsor, JP Morgan Chase. Okay, so we're back and we're ready to hear from our platinum sponsor, JP Morgan Chase. Again, we are so happy to have JP Morgan Chase support the True Access Capital organization. And tonight we have Mid-Atlantic Market Lead, Daniel Okonkwo, here to have a few words from JP Morgan Chase.
Great. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for the introduction. I'm grateful for the opportunity to attend True Access Capital's annual meeting. And while I'm not able to be physically present, I'm thankful for the opportunity to participate virtually tonight. I don't know about you, but I'm also grateful for the distraction and from the anxiety of watching the news and the election. I'm pretty sure that I've had an elevated resting heart rate for the past 72 hours, and that can't be very healthy. I also want to say thank you to all of you who are present tonight in whatever way you're able to be. This year has had more than its share of disruptions, so the fact that this event still happened is amazing. Thank you to the staff, the board, and the organizers who pulled off this event and all of us together tonight. My name is Daniel Okonkwo. I am the market lead for the Mid-Atlantic at JP Morgan Chase in our Office of Community Engagement. Our community engagement function is a new office at JP Morgan Chase that pulls together our Office of Nonprofit Engagement, our community reinvestment, community partnership function, and public affairs to be more coordinated and holistic in how we show up in communities across the country. And that's exactly what I want to say a few words about this evening, this notion of showing up in communities. I think that showing up authentically in communities is one of the most important aspects of being a financial services institution. You all know and have seen that True Access Capital is one of those organizations that shows up in and for communities across Delaware. This notion of showing up in communities is also one that we take seriously at JP Morgan Chase. This year, we made a very big announcement, which at its core said that first, we recognize that there are structural barriers to equity in Black and Latinx communities. And second, we are going to focus our expertise in business, in policy, and in philanthropy to support an inclusive recovery from COVID-19, to support our employees, and I think most importantly, break down the barriers of systemic racism. And to do this work, we are committing $30 billion over the next 5 years. Breaking down these barriers won't be easy work, and it will take partnerships with local organizations like True Access Capital. But this work also has to start with the recognition of what is happening in Black and Latinx communities so that we can effectively craft approaches to combat inequity. So for example, we know that there are significant racial disparities in financial health of Black and Latinx households, which serve as barriers to achieving financial stability, to meeting their financial goals, and to building wealth. We also know that Black and Latinx small business owners face significant barriers to growing and scaling their businesses. And these are some of the challenges that we will address in our $30 billion commitment. But specifically, we will invest up to $50 million in the form of capital and deposits in Black and Latinx-led MDIs and CDFIs, and continue to mentor and advise our CDFI partners to be part of how they show up and serve in their communities. This work to show up and break down barriers will touch down in communities across the country, and Wilmington will be one of those communities. We look forward to working with True Access Capital and other Delawareans to achieve success in this area. I know we value the work that you all do in this state, and I look ahead with hope that we can continue to partner and achieve equity in Delaware. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Van Hampton, and I'm the president and CEO of True Access Capital. And this is actually one of my favorite parts of the night. We're going to be doing some recognitions tonight. And I always enjoy this part because we get to recognize people for doing good things. So the first group of people that I'm going to recognize are folks who are on our board of directors who actually left the board this year. Typically, we have this meeting in May, and obviously we know what was going on in May. We just got into COVID, and we pushed the meeting back. It was initially scheduled for September, and we hope we would have the big to-do. We typically have 100 people who come out to this event, and obviously we knew that that wasn't going to happen either. So when we started to have some conversations about what could we do, and the idea came up, let's try a hybrid event. We'll invite a small, intimate gathering, and we'll broadcast it live and stream it. And I'm pretty pleased. So for those of you who are out there in webcast world, we've got probably about 30 people here. We're pretty intimate. We've got, 8 tables, 4 or 5 people at each table. We are socially distanced. We're doing all we can do to make sure that we're all safe. And I'm really pleased with how this has worked out, and really happy to be here tonight in November 2020 talking about True Access Capital and the work that we did last year. So let me get into my first acknowledgments. I said we're going to be bringing up board members, and first I'd like to bring up Mr. Jimmy Jarrell. So Jimmy has been involved with True Access Capital for about 12 years. He started out on our loan review committee about 12 years ago. He later joined our board of directors, and he was actually on our board for 9 years. He exited our board in May of this year. I consider Jimmy a friend, and I'm honored to have worked with him, and I want to give him this Board Service Award, and it reads, awarded to Jimmy Jarrell for your years of dedicated service to the TAC Board of Directors, True Access Capital 2020. Thank you.
I'll say a couple words since I'm used to being up here at the beginning of the event. Thank you, Van. This means a lot to me. It was difficult coming off the board after 9 years. I had to. We have this thing called a term limit, and they made me come off. But otherwise, I probably would have been on forever. But I'll be back someday. So I love the staff here. I love the board. Everybody's fantastic to work with. And our customers, our friends, our colleagues, and our community is great. So thank you, Van. Keep up the good work. I'll be watching.
Next, I would like to bring up Emmanuel DeShields, who's actually a current board member of True Access Capital. Emmanuel will be accepting the award on behalf of Lottie Lee Davis. As many of you are aware, we lost Lottie a few months ago to a tragic accident. But Lottie was an active member of the True Access Capital Board of Directors. We all miss Lottie dearly, and we're really happy to have had her as part of the True Access Capital family. And this award reads, awarded, and I'm going to butcher this, so forgive me, posthumously, sorry about that, to the family of Lottie Lee Davis, for her years of service to the TAC Board of Directors, 2020.
Normally, I speak very well and I speak a lot, but there really isn't much that needs to be said about my sister. She was an amazing woman. She was given an amazing vision, and she introduced me to some amazing people. And she would be very happy with this award. Thank you very much.
So the last board member that we want to recognize is Margot Rain. And Margot is actually not here tonight. She's attending virtually. So I know, Margot, you are out there in webcast land. Margot has been involved with True Access Capital for a long time. She actually worked for the organization over 25 years ago. She served as our treasurer on our board of directors, and I'd like to thank Margot for her dedication to the True Access Capital organization, and we will make sure that Margot receives this award. Can we give Margot a round of applause? So this next group of folks that I want to acknowledge are actually staff members celebrating important milestones at True Access Capital. And one of them knows that she's getting an award, and the other doesn't. So I know I'm going to surprise her when we make this announcement. But the first staff member that I would like to bring up is Debbie Harrison. I know I'm gonna pay for this next week, but Debbie is actually receiving her 10-year service award at True Access Capital. Debbie is our financial manager, and I really don't know what I would do without her. So Debbie is our bookkeeper, our accountant, our CFO, our savior. And she keeps me out of jail. So Debbie, thank you for all you do. So Sarah knows she's next. And because she was so heavily involved in the planning, we couldn't keep it a secret. You know, it's funny, we think this is a secret, but folks know how long they've been here, right? And they know we give awards at 5 years and we give awards at 10 years. So I always think I'm surprising folks, but that's my prerogative. So I'd like to ask Sarah to come back up. As I mentioned, Sarah is celebrating Sarah's celebrating 5 years at True Access Capital. And I'm going to say this, and this is not really meant to be a joke, but it seems like it's been a lot longer than 5 years. Sarah's the program director for the Women's Business Center, and she's taken the WBC to new heights. And I'm really proud of her and all that she's done and all her accomplishments. And one of the things I like most about Sarah is her willingness to pitch in and do whatever necessary to make sure we all look good and we all win. So Sarah, thank you for your commitment. And it reads, awarded to Sarah A. Crawford, WBC Program Director, 5-year anniversary award.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, so I've got a few comments. I won't be long. For those of you who are here live, we will have a closing reception when we get done, so the bar will be open for another 30 minutes or so. So I'll try to get through this. So good evening again to those who are here in person and to those who are attending virtually. Before I get into my remarks, I just want to take some time again to acknowledge our sponsors. We couldn't do this without their support. Our platinum sponsor, JP Morgan Chase. Our gold sponsors, WSFS Bank and Wells Fargo. Our silver sponsor, Barnes and Thornburg. And our bronze sponsors, Lasco and Marconi, Meridian Bank, Artisans Bank, and the City of Wilmington. So 2019 seems like a lifetime ago. So much has changed in the world. When we decided to move forward with this annual meeting, we understood that we couldn't do so without discussing the impact of COVID-19 has had on True Access Capital and our borrowers. And if COVID-19 wasn't enough, many of our clients located downtown Wilmington suffered additional losses from the unrest that took place following the George Floyd murder. Not to get too political, but I cannot remember a time in my life when our country's been more divided. Not only are Americans divided around social and cultural issues, there are deep divisions around race, including the racial wealth gap. I don't have all the answers, but here's what I do know. Until we get to a place where everyone has true access to opportunity, true access to growth, and true access to the resources necessary to move up from one station to another, we will all suffer. Like every other community development financial institution in the country, True Access Capital exists to bridge those gaps. We're here to link community with capital, with knowledge, and the tools small businesses and minority-owned businesses need to succeed in this new environment. In every sense of the word, we are the true access that I'm talking about. And frankly, if organizations like True Access Capital were ever needed, we're needed now. On March 18th, we closed our office, suspended all face-to-face meetings, instructed our staff to work from home. All of our in-person classroom training and one-on-one business counseling ceased and shifted to a virtual environment. In the following weeks, many of our borrowers began calling, worried that they might not be able to make their loan payments. Since then, we probably received 40 or so businesses that have requested payment deferments, which we granted. We made sure that our clients knew about the resources that were available, programs like the Payroll Protection Program and the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan Program. We provided training. We also helped some clients complete the applications. And all while some clients received support, unfortunately, these programs did not work for all of our clients, particularly our smaller clients, our smaller businesses. So True Access Capital developed the Delaware Emergency Relief and Recovery Loan and Grant Program, which specifically focused on smaller businesses. This program provides loans up to $20,000 with principal and interest deferred for the first 12 months. Any business that receives a loan also receives a $5,000 grant. We also created the Kennett Community Relief Program in partnership with the Borough of Kennett Square in Chester County, Pennsylvania. This program provided loans up to $10,000 to Kennett-based businesses, also with principal and interest deferred for 12 months. To date, through the Delaware Emergency Relief and Recovery Loan and Grant Program, True Access Capital has approved 15 loans and corresponding grants, putting nearly $300,000 in the community, supporting small and minority businesses. And through our Kennett Community Relief Fund, we approved 6 loans totaling $60,000. We understand that the challenges our borrowers face are far from over, but True Access Capital is here for the long haul to do all that we can to ensure that as many businesses as possible succeed during these turbulent times. Turning to other topics, I want to spend a few moments reviewing 2019. If you haven't already, I encourage you to read through our 2019 annual report and, of course, our new website for a more in-depth review of some of these stories. But I want to touch on some of the highlights here this evening. And I want to say something because the folks who are, again, in webcast land, they all probably individually know this, but they're just sitting around and they don't know that everybody knows it. But we actually sent our annual report to everybody that pre-registered for the event. So the folks who are actually sitting out there in webcast land have our annual report in front of them, and they have a copy of our program, so they can actually follow this live. During the year, we saw brisk loan activity with more than $4 million in new loans approved. More than 60% of these loans went to empower small businesses located in Delaware, with the balance invested in clients in southeastern Pennsylvania. We're especially proud of the fact that by our estimate, True Access Capital helped create and sustain more than 250 jobs in 2019. Along with the focus on booking high-quality loans, True Access Capital has renewed its focus on supporting Black and brown businesses. This has always been our strategy, of course, but we are now placing special emphasis on reaching out to communities in Delaware and southeastern Pennsylvania that have high concentrations of Black and brown people or businesses owned by people of color. And our commitment to the community extends beyond Delaware. During the year, our expansion into southeastern Pennsylvania gained significant traction. The goal of this expansion program is to promote economic growth and stability in underserved communities and do all that we can to create jobs in those same communities. One particular investment that I want to point out is a participation loan that we did with the Enterprise Center Capital Corporation. Together, we provided a loan to Pride Enterprises, a Norristown, Pennsylvania-based, African-American-owned building and construction management firm. This loan provided additional working capital to support Pride Enterprises' multi-million-dollar construction contract for the Philadelphia Live Casino and Hotel. This project, which supports hundreds of jobs, is a good example of the kind of projects we hope to do in the future. Also in 2019, in collaboration with the Borough of Kennett Square, True Access Capital created the Capital Growth Fund, which is a revolving loan fund that offers small businesses loans up to $50,000, along with technical assistance and business support to new and existing small businesses, with a focus on supporting the growth of Hispanic-owned businesses in Kennett Square. To date, we've done 3 loans under the Capital Growth Fund, totaling $150,000, which has resulted in the creation of and retention of 18 new jobs. In order to fuel the continued growth of our loan portfolio and our ongoing expansion into southeastern Pennsylvania while maintaining great service levels for existing clients, True Access Capital added 3 new positions in the last year, which included a business development officer, a portfolio administrator, and a commercial loan documentation specialist. And because we anticipate the growth to continue in the year ahead, we plan to add a second loan documentation specialist, a community lending officer, and accounting assistant in 2021. No one is likely to ever forget 2020, given the many challenges that we all faced. I think it's a testament to our organization, our mission, and our commitment and the dedication of our people including everyone in this room, everyone joining us on the webcast, that True Access Capital didn't just survive in 2020, we thrived. The year ahead is likely to be less challenging than 2020, but if we've learned anything from the last 12 months, with your ongoing support, True Access Capital is ready to serve the community in whatever comes. Time to acknowledge some folks. First, our staff, which you can see on the screen. All the things that I talked about, all the accomplishments, all the things we did in 2019 and 2021 would not be possible without these people here. I couldn't be prouder to work with such a fantastic group of people, and I'd like to give them all a round of applause. I'd also like to acknowledge our board of directors. I think they're next on the screen. And I consider the board the foundation of our organization. I really appreciate your support and your guidance in helping me steer this organization. Thank you very much. I'd like to give one last thank you to our sponsors. I guess I'm not going to list them again, but thank you for tonight. And then finally, I guess we jumped up. I want to acknowledge two companies that made all this possible, New Point Marketing and Tiffany Chalk Events. This is the group that pulled all this together tonight, this hybrid event, this live stream. New Point Marketing is our marketing and PR firm. You met Jim Donahue earlier. Tiffany Chalk couldn't be here tonight, but her team is here tonight. And this wouldn't have been possible without their support. So can we give them a round of applause as well? That's all I have. Thank you for coming out, and I look forward to seeing you all next year. Thank you.
Okay, I promise this will be the last time you hear me talk tonight. So I just want to remind those in the room and definitely those that are streaming online, again, I'm not begging, but any amount helps. So we want you to be a part of the impact and all the things we've been able to do in our communities, for economic development, creating jobs and businesses and helping our small business owners. We're able to do that by sponsors and supporters and individual sponsorship like you guys. So we want to make sure that you are texting to give True Access 2020 to 44321. And those that are in person, the bar is now open again. So I just want to let you know that as well. Sorry for those that are online, but I'm sure you can just find a cocktail at home and make it happen. So again, Text to Give. We appreciate you, and we are so glad you could be a part of the 2020 True Access Capital Annual Meeting. Have a good night.